Welcome one, welcome all. This is Caleb Jones, and this is the Alpha Male 2.0 podcast. And once again, I apologize for the audio quality. I am in transit yet again. I'm a busy little boy. I'm a busy little bee. And today, we're going to talk about the most important concept in business. The most important concept, and that is marketing. Marketing. The most important function in your business. Now, I go into great detail in terms of how to market your product, your service, your information in your Alpha 2.0 business in my courses, in some of my books, and in the SMIC program at joinsmic.com, and at the Focus program and all my coaching programs. So I discuss that in great detail there. I am not going to discuss it in great minute detail on this free podcast. I'm going to give you a basic overview. If you need much more detail, go check out one of those resources. Or if you don't like my content, that's fine. Check out someone else's marketing resources. That is fine. Number one, top of the list. Number one most important concept I can convey to you. I've talked about this in The Unchained Man. I have to keep screaming this from the rooftops because it is violated so often. Marketing is the number one most important function in your entire company. And the reason I have to say that over and over again is because most business owners, including most guys in my audience who own small businesses or Alpha 2.0 businesses, or guys who want to start their own Alpha 2.0 business, violate this. The smarter you are, the more likely you are to violate this core tenet. The more highly educated you are, if you went to college, certainly if you got a master's degree or a business degree or an MBA, again, the more likely you are to violate this. The more your personality is a IT type guy or an engineering type guy, the more likely you are to violate this, because smarter guys, more nerdy guys, and or more highly educated guys tend to focus on the thing they are selling, their product, their service, or their information, whatever that is. And they focus on that and they get all excited about that, their widget. I'll call it your widget, but in my parlance, I call it your offering. I'll call it your widget, the thing that you're selling. They get all excited about that. And they get all excited about stupid technical stuff in their businesses, like setting up their goddamn websites and crap like that. That is not what is the most important thing in your company. Is it important? Yes. Is the quality of what you're selling important? Abso-fucking-lutely. That is also required for long-term business success. But it is not the most important thing, and I can prove it. You know, and I know, many companies, including many giant corporations, that sell products or services or information that is shit. It's shit. They sell shit, yet they make billions of dollars. They make millions, sometimes hundreds of millions, sometimes billions of dollars. Why? Because they're focused on marketing. So you can actually sell something moderately shitty, not completely shitty. I'll cover that in a second. Moderately shitty, or at least mediocre. But if you do a great job at marketing, you can make a living. You can make money. Now, if you sell something completely shitty, completely terrible, if you're, defrauding your customers and then saying this thing I'm going to sell you is going to do this and it clearly doesn't, well, that's different. People will call you out on it. You'll get millions and millions of refunds and you'll go out of business. So I'm not saying you can sell crap and be good at marketing and make money. You cannot do that. That is not possible long term. There are scammers who do that on the internet. They sell crap and they blow their brains out with marketing and they make a hunk of money over a period of 4, 5, 6 months, then they're gone because everyone catches on that what they're selling is a scam. So you have to sell something that is quality. Yes, that is important, but it is not the most important thing. Most important thing is getting that thing sold. There are millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of small businesses started by guys at home all over the world who are selling stuff that is really good, who go out of business in less than 12 months. And the reason they go out of business in less than 12 months is not because what they're selling is bad. What they're selling is good. It's because they don't fucking market what they are selling. Too many guys seem to think, and maybe they don't literally believe this, but this is how they behave. They behave in a way where if I make a great thing, I will make a lot of money because my thing is so great and so unique and helps my niche and helps my customers so much. The old saying, build a better mousetrap and the customers will beat a path to your door. That is false. It doesn't matter how good your thing is in terms of getting started. You must market that thing. If no one knows about your thing, who the hell is going to buy it? That's how that works. And again, if you're a really intelligent guy, if you're a highly educated guy, if you're an engineering/IT type guy, this is going to be a difficult concept for you. You're going to resist this concept. You're going to say, well, marketing sucks, and I don't know how to do marketing, and marketing is scary, or marketing is expensive, and marketing is stupid, and oh, fuck it, I'll just have a job and be a beta male. No. Develop your thing and then market the fuck out. I will give you an overview in this podcast on the basics. I can't give you everything because that's a long concept. It would take a very long time. Go to calebjones.com, click books and courses at the top of the page, and you can get more resources there, or my coaching stuff, what have you. All right. So, in terms of how to market your thing, your widget, you should visualize a quadrant, a 4-quadrant square. And the 2 axes of the quadrant is whether it's online or offline. And the other one is whether it's free or paid. So you have 4 types of marketing. You have online free, which means it's free. It doesn't cost you any money. It just takes some work, but it's done online and it's free. You have online paid, which means that it's online, but you have to pay for it. An example, that would be ads, running ads. You got to pay for those. Then you have offline free, something that is free to do, but it's offline. And then you have offline paid. This would be something that is offline, but is free. It takes work, but it doesn't take any money. Classic example of that would be doing cold calls. Does it cost money for you to sit on the phone and dial the phone number and call people? No. It takes time, takes courage, but it doesn't take any money. And then you have offline paid. These are ways in which you can market your product, service, or information offline, but it costs money. Like, for example, running an ad in a trade journal or renting a trade show booth for your niche, things like that. So every type of way in which you can envision marketing something will fall into one of these 4 quadrants. Occasionally, you have weird ones that can be in multiple quadrants. There are approximately 23, 24 different ways to market something. Everything from buying Instagram ads, to doing cold calls, to using social media, to using trade shows, to door-to-door sales, to every possible thing you can think of. I mean, putting ads in newspapers, if you're going to do that, people still do that. Buying ads on people's podcasts. I mean, there's so many different ways to do this. And there's about 20, 23, 24, 25 ways to do this. Your job is to pick 3 to 5 of these techniques to master over time. Not immediately, but over time. And maybe you start with 1 or 2 of them. And these need to be in a quadrant, in terms of these 4 quadrants, where you can afford to do them and where it is congruent to your niche. So in an Alpha 2.0 business, as I've talked about many times, one of the starting points, actually the starting point of the Alpha Male 2.0 business, is that you identify a narrow niche, a very narrow type of human or very narrow type of company. And you can sell to customers, B2C, or you can sell to businesses, B2B. It doesn't matter. Either one. I've done both. Doesn't matter. But instead of selling to everyone, you're selling to a very narrow segment of the industry, and that is a niche. And the more you niche, the more money you can make, the easier your marketing will be, the more you'll be perceived as an expert more quickly, the more referrals you get, on and on and on and on and on and on. Higher prices you can charge. I mean, there's so many benefits to operating under a niche. So there are certain types of marketing that are congruent to your niche, and there are certain types of marketing that are not congruent to your niche. For example, if your niche is IT nerds under the age of 23, then you are probably not going to do a lot of cold calls. You're probably not going to do a lot of advertising in magazines, print magazines. Probably not what you're going to do in terms of your marketing methodology. You're going to use something else. You might use social media. You might use Facebook ads. You might do banner ads on a forum or something like that. That doesn't mean you can't do any offline methods. What I'm going to experiment doing next year myself for my Alpha Male 2.0 content is to get a trade show. Is once COVID is over, God, so that may not be next year, maybe the year after. Whenever the fuck COVID is over, I'm going to rent a nice big fancy booth at one of the big car trade shows in Las Vegas because that really appeals to my niche. Single unmarried guys between 25 and 35 or so. And I think we're going to do very, very well at that. And that's a completely offline way of reaching an online audience. So that's the other thing too, is I don't want you to lock yourself into, I must only sell online. Or if you're selling to old people, let's say, you don't want to say, I'm only going to sell offline. You want to ideally, to have a healthy long-term business, have many different marketing avenues in many different quadrants. Ideally, all 4 quadrants, although that's not necessary. So obviously, the first decision you need to make is, am I going to spend money or not? Do I have any money or not? Now, if you're a younger guy and you have no money, you're starting out from scratch, you're going to probably choose online free and offline free and or offline free. So, which is fine, perfectly fine. I've said this many times. My Alpha Male 2.0 company, starting with the Black Dragon blog back in 2009, that is a multi-6-figure income company today. I started that business for something like $28. So you don't need to spend a lot of money. You don't need to spend any money starting your own Alpha 2.0 business. Now, what I've also said is that if you do spend money on ads or do spend money on paid marketing mechanisms, you can get from zero to the money much more quickly than with the free stuff, generally speaking. The problem is you may not have any money, or you may have money and not want to spend any money, and that's fine. I've been in both scenarios, by the way. I've been poor, and I've started companies for no money. I've also been in scenarios where I had money, but I didn't want to spend any money because I don't like spending money. So I've done both. That's perfectly fine. But yes, it is true that if you want to use paid marketing methods, unless you're a complete moron and don't know what you're doing, you can indeed get to the income much faster if you decide to spend money up front in terms of your marketing. That is generally true. Now, that doesn't mean you can't make a lot of money very quickly using free marketing methods. For example, if you are a consultant, you started a consulting practice, and you want to get 1 or 2 or 3 clients, and you follow my advice on value-based pricing and things like that I talk about in my consultant course, you could relatively soon get on LinkedIn. This is all free. Get on LinkedIn, find some people in your niche, email them, or even better, call them up. This is all free. Offer your consulting service. See if they have any problems that you can help them solve. See if you can help make them money or save them money by solving those problems. And within a few weeks, you could get one client, and that one client could be thousands and thousands of dollars to you, totally free. So you can get to the big money quickly using free methods, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, across the broad spectrum of different types of Alpha 2.0 businesses, you can generally get to the bigger money faster if you spend money. It's just not required. Now, obviously, if you're a younger guy or you're an older guy with no money and you don't have any money to spend, then this is a moot point to you. You would obviously choose free marketing methods, which is fine. It's just that in many cases, there is a higher ramp up time to get to the money. For example, another example I've used, if you use blogging as one of your free marketing methods, which is a fantastic marketing method even to this day. I mean, I started a stupid little dumb blog way back in 2009 called the Black Dragon blog, and today that blog makes a lot of money. So that's perfectly fine, and it was totally free. But if you use blogging as a free marketing mechanism, you're going to have to be kind of patient. You're not going to make money next month. It's going to take anywhere from 6 to 18 months before you start seeing real income come in on a monthly basis that you can rely upon from your blog. That means, I've talked about this before, you're going to be writing blog posts and posting blog posts several times a week, even when you know no one is reading them. And you're going to feel stupid. You're going to feel silly. But that doesn't matter. You keep at it, you stay consistent, and eventually you'll start making money. I went through the same exact thing. So back in 2009, when I was writing blog posts, and back then I wrote 3 blog posts a week back then, no one was fucking reading. Not no one, but literally I would get something like, 18 views, 27 views in a day. Virtually no one is reading this shit. And I felt like a moron writing all these blog posts that no one was reading. But I kept with it, stuck at it. And very soon that blog was making $800 a month. It was actually paying my rent at the time. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then $1,200 a month, and then $3,000 a month, and then $4,000 a month. And now it makes a lot of money. There are months that blog makes 6 figures in 1 month. And that's not unusual. At least the blog as the basis. I have a lot of other things that business, obviously, other than just a blog, because I've been doing this for 10 years now. As a matter of fact, on that topic, I am now on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at The Real Caleb Jones. Now, here's the problem. I was behind the curve on Instagram because I have 3 companies and sometimes I get busy and I don't keep up on this stuff. I was so focused on my blog, I kind of ignored social media for a while. So I am behind the times a little bit on social media. So even though I'm on Instagram, I have regular content, daily content there. I do daily stories. I do daily stories over there. I have less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. So I look like a fucking loser. So when I post Instagram stuff, I feel like I'm like, no, virtually no one is seeing this. Why am I doing this? But again, I know how this works. I know that if I keep posting content, quality content to a niched audience, which I do, in a year and a half, that Instagram is going to be huge. And that Instagram is going to be making me a lot of money. So right now it feels weird, but I know how this works. I'm like, no problem. I know this works. I felt this before. I'm going to keep at it as a marketing technique, a free, more or less free marketing technique. If you did it, I actually have a staff that manages my Instagram now. So to me, it's a paid method, but theoretically, I could take the time to do it myself and do it for free. And certainly, if you are starting your first business from scratch, you probably have a lot more time than you do money. And so you would do this yourself. I'm at a position in my life now where I have more money than time. So it makes sense for me to actually spend the money, which, by the way, is another consideration. So if you are, for some reason, a business owner already and you are already very busy and your business is making good money, and or maybe you're an older guy with a more full life like me, you could spend the money on some of these quote free marketing techniques and have people do it for you, outsource your marketing, which is perfectly fine, assuming you're making a decent amount of money and you have a decent amount of money. That's all good. So that's another factor to be aware of when you're making these decisions on the way in which you should market your widget. So within all those parameters, you should pick 3 to 5 marketing techniques that you're going to do now or later, and then start on the first one and really get the first one going, regardless of what that is. If that's Instagram ads, fine. If that's a free podcast, fine. If that's blogging, fine. If it's cold calls, fine. You start working on that immediately. You get going with that immediately. You need to get to the point where you are doing that regularly, several times a week, however your time management works. Some guys like to have a marketing day where they market all day and they blow their brains out with marketing for, and every Tuesday is marketing day. Some guys like to do it a few hours a day. However that works for you, you're working on your number one item. Then when you've got that kind of wired into your head in terms of the systems in your business and in terms of your own daily or weekly habits, your habit scheduling, then you add the second marketing technique. Then you add the third marketing technique. As a matter of fact, I have a great article at the calebjonesblog.com, and you can look it up. It's called The Marketing Ladder. And that is, I show there several examples of how I did this, how I stair-stepped my multiple marketing techniques across 2 or 3 of my companies. As always, the advice I'm giving you is stuff that I have done and or doing right now. So I know this stuff works. So you stair step to the second marketing technique, the third marketing technique, the fourth marketing technique, get as many as you can. Now, it may take you 2 or 3 years to get all 5 or 6 or 7. There's no rush. The point is that you get working on the first one now. Get going on it now. And you prioritize the time. The most important thing you do in your business, once everything is set up, once your website is set up and your logistics are set up, once all that's set up and you're ready to deliver your widget, marketing should be the number one focus of your time. Not futzing around with your website, not futzing around on YouTube or futzing around online trying to learn more shit. I mean, that's valid also, but that's something you do for maybe an hour at night. During the day, you are marketing. The men who succeed at the Alpha 2.0 business game are the men who focus on marketing, the men who make marketing a priority, the men who don't poo-poo marketing. Let me talk about that for a second. There's 2 different ways in which you can poo-poo marketing. One is this attitude that some people have that marketing is somehow sleazy or dishonest or, quote, beneath them. I went to Harvard. I went to college. I have an MBA. I'm not going to market. I'm not a salesman. I am a professional architect. I am a professional consultant. I am a professional computer technician. I don't market. Ugh. And they stick their noses in the air and they spend the rest of their lives making $50,000 a year and never making any more and being location dependent and being fucked beta males. That's the attitude. So that attitude is very expensive. Instead, you should have my attitude. Marketing is critically important. It is the most important thing I do, regardless of how I may personally feel about it. By the way, you don't want to lie in your marketing. You'll actually get into legal trouble. You'll get in big trouble, especially online. If you're lying, if you're blatantly lying in your marketing, don't do that. That's stupid. So you can market and be honest. I'm honest when I market. I don't tell a single lie on any of my sales pages, and I have maybe 40 or 50 of those things. I don't lie, and you shouldn't either. So be honest. So this thing about, oh, it's dishonest, then don't fucking lie. You shouldn't do that anyway. Plus, if you lie in your marketing, even if you get away with it, your return rates, the number of people asking for their money back will be sky high, and you will go out of business really fast. So obviously be honest and don't lie. But that's the first thing, is that somehow marketing is beneath you. No, it is not beneath you. People who focus on sales and marketing make far, far, far higher incomes. And there's real data to back this up. Brian Tracy's real big on this stuff. They make far bigger incomes than really smart engineering guys. If you're a really smart engineering guy, at most in your life, at the very most, if you're very lucky, you might get to maybe $120,000 a year income as an employee, meaning you're paying half that shit in taxes. So you're really taking home $60,000, which is under the Alpha 2.0 minimum of $75,000 a year. That's the best you'll probably be able to do. But if you market, if you sell, if you do that well and do it regularly, you can make as much money as you want. There's literally no limit on your income. And Alpha 2.0 means it's location independent income that you control, unlike being a goddamn employee. Marketing is important. The second thing about poo-pooing marketing is, I've seen a lot of guys do this. They don't know anything about it because they went to college and they're technicians. They're technical guys, as I discussed earlier. And so they just kind of throw their arms in the air. They say, well, I don't know how to get clients, so I guess I'm fucked. Well, I don't know how to sell ebooks, so I guess I'm fucked. Well, I don't know how to, sell products. I don't know how to do marketing. I don't know how to get customers. So this is bullshit. This is bullshit. I guess I'm fucked. This is bullshit. It's fucked. Or another variation of this is, people like Caleb should just give away all their marketing techniques for free. They should be free. It's bullshit. Don't do that. Please don't fucking do that. You can buy books on Amazon for $15 that will show you how to market. I'll give you a recommendation right now. Fantastic book I recommend to all beginners. Guerrilla Marketing in 30 Days by J. Conrad Levinson. If you think my online courses are too expensive, fine, go get that book on Amazon. I think it's $13. Great, go for that. That'll give you a good primer, good indicator of the types of marketing methods you could use. Don't use your ignorance as a fucking excuse. That is beta. Find the materials. Purchase what you need to purchase if you have to. I have purchased in my lifetime, my goodness, hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing materials and information, both as coaching, as workshops, as audio programs, as courses, and as books. I've been doing that for 25 plus years, and it is money well spent because I made millions of dollars over the course of my working lifetime from those purchases. So when you purchase information regarding marketing, it is a profit center for you, unless you buy this stuff and sit on your ass and don't do it, but that's your fault. So I talk about like my Alpha 2.0 business course. That course is free because if you do even 10% of what's in that course, you'll make far more money than how much that course costs. It's ridiculous. So don't poo-poo marketing. Number one most important thing in your business. That is all for this week. I will see you next week. Now get to work. Bye.